Hello friends and welcome back to D&M Motorsports. Today we are spending time with a magnificent supercar. This is a 2009 Ferrari 430 Scuderia. The virtues of Ferrari's 430 Scuderia help define the term supercar. A supercar is probably best described as an exclusive machine that embodies statement-level styling while carrying world-class performance credentials. While this may not look like the most outrageous road-going automobile to wear the Ferrari badge, its performance speaks the opposite. The 430 Scuderia is a technological hallmark for the Ferrari brand, blending everyday drivability with performance that would shame many a dedicated race car. What's even cooler, the technology built into this car gives a novice driver an opportunity to safely explore this car's outer limits without too much risk to their safety. Now at the rear of the Scuderia, positioned right behind the front occupants, you've got the mid-mounted 4.3-liter V8 engine. Now in this tune for the Scuderia makes 503 horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower from a naturally aspirated 4.3-liter. Everything in here really, almost to the look, is all carbon fiber. You've got carbon fiber air boxes, the intake plenum, as well as the trim for the entire engine, I guess the side parts of the compartment. And then you can see the aluminum bracing right through there. That's part of the frame structure. This car is all stock in this configuration, so that's one thing to really give it a vote of confidence. But when you fire this thing up, I mean, the sounds it makes, it's like no other V8. And I will say it is the best sounding V8 you can buy. On paper, 503 horsepower is only a 20 horsepower bump from the standard F430. But with a flatter torque curve, power delivery is spread much more prominently across the rev range. Weight is also down 220 pounds. Helping create a forward momentum you just don't get in the F430. Press the engine start button and the Scuderia produces some of the best sounds ever to come from the rear of a Ferrari. An active exhaust system turns this car's audio track past 11 when you dip into the throttle, and believe me, it's a noticeable difference. Up front is the boot, trunk, whatever you want to call it. And it's rather roomy at that. Now with the Scuderia, you really don't have a lot of the sound deadening and trim you're going to see with the traditional 430, so it's somewhat kind of a basic canvas interior here, but brand new. I really can't state that enough. It really is an excellent factory new condition. You do have the tools as needed from the factory, and then also the battery tender, which stores right in its little neat Ferrari pouch here. It does come with a factory car cover, obviously something that's nice if you're going to store the car for a long period of time. But all original. They did put a clear bra on the front here. You can actually see a little bit of it. But they did a fantastic job, obviously. And the original PPG paint stickers here that shows Grigio Silverstone. That is the factory paint color. Much of this car's innovation lies in the aerodynamic bodywork. The front spoiler is wind tunnel designed to add front-end downforce, and the side sills were designed to regulate the front and rear downforce, acting as a balance of equal pressure. The center tunnel of the car is manufactured in carbon fiber for both strength and weight savings. The quarter panel intakes pair with the rear diffuser to channel an undisturbed flow of air across the rear wheel wells, providing both cooling and aerodynamic benefits. The 6-speed sequential manual F1 Superfast 2 transmission is much more than just a gearbox. Driveline logic is shared by both the engine and transmission. They work in harmony to create a smooth and lightning-quick drive experience. The transmission works to optimize clutch engagement and gear change speed, while the engine cuts torque precisely to enable gear changes as quick as 60 milliseconds. Even more incredible is the smoothness in which these gear changes are made. The fast-revving V8 dials up the right engine speed the blink of an eye when downshifting, yet you don't experience some of the drama you'd have in other high-performance single-clutch setups. In an attempt to capture the glorious audio of the 430 Scuderia, we mounted a microphone at the tail of the car to capture real-time acceleration with the exterior audio. Listen to the engine note change as soon as my foot drops here. Then listen to the 60 millisecond shifts. Go ahead, turn your volume up now. Yeah, those carbon ceramic brakes are pretty amazing too. Perhaps some of the most significant technologies built into the 430 Scuderia are Ferrari's eDiff and the F1 Track Stability System. eDiff features an advanced active rear axle, which based on vehicle dynamics data will channel torque accordingly to the rear wheels, instantly optimizing power distribution. When accelerating the Scuderia out of a curve, eDiff will channel a greater amount of power to the outside rear wheel, enabling superior acceleration when cornering. F1 Track Stability Control ties data from all reactive elements of the car and responds with seamless intervention, allowing a novice driver to safely explore the upper limits of this Ferrari's handling. All in all, the engine, F1 transmission, ABS, F1 Track Stability Control,
active suspension, and eDiff create the most sophisticated high-performance driving experience available. It's cutting-edge advancements like this that truly sets Ferrari apart from any other automaker.
Before I step in, I just want to note that the interior of this really is very minimalist, but at the same time there's an artistic structure to it. The door panels are made of carbon fiber, but you can see you got some machined aluminum here for the door handle. Just looks beautiful, carbon sill plates. But stepping in is really simple. You've got exposed aluminum here for the floorboard, as well as even more carbon fiber all throughout the interior. It is an Alcantara interior almost all the way throughout. And these seats, they're called Super Sport seats. They're constructed entirely of carbon fiber, so the entire frame weighs a whole lot less than what you get with the standard car. Overall, it's 220 pounds in savings of weight in this car over the standard 430. But what an unbelievable layout. I mean, you really feel like you're in a race car. All this information right in front of you, including that big red tack. You have the Manatino, as they call it on here. You got 5 settings for your drive modes, as well as the engine start button right on here, and some carbon fiber paddles here to shift the F1 super fast transmission. As far as creature comforts go, once you're in, you really do still have the stuff you'd expect of a stock car. You got automatic climate control setting here, literally set your temperature and forget it. Above that, this is a Ferrari factory navigation system. It does have a navigation system built right within the screen here, and also Bluetooth connectivity, so you can actually have a Bluetooth conversation while you're cruising in your Ferrari. Again, carbon fiber, decorates top of the dash all the way down the center console here. Where you have a couple buttons for the F1 transmission. This is how you engage reverse, and also you can go into a fully automatic program where the car will shift itself. This is a switch for the damping to adjust the shock absorbers, so you can go from sport ride to more of a touring ride. Central locks and power mirrors.
On the carbon fiber steering wheel, a row of LED shift indicator lights rapidly illuminate as you approach the 8,500 RPM redline. Opposite the prominent engine start button is the Manatino. It's worth noting that the 430 Scuderia has a racing Manatino, with more adjustability than the standard F430. Selections include road holding, recommended for wet or slippery conditions, sport, which is the preferred everyday setting, race, the maximum performance setting, with full electronic assist to maximize performance and safety. It's particularly recommended for the racetrack. The CT setting disables the traction control system to allow wheel spin, and CST disables all driver's aids, with the exception of the eDiff rear axle. In any mode, the driver can select from a soft or sport setting on the active suspension, with the button mounted right on the console. Stepping inside, there is no question that this car's focus is all about performance. With such focus at weight reduction, there's extensive carbon fiber throughout, including carbon fiber door panels. The floor is exposed aluminum, which at first glance is unconventional, but a closer look reveals careful attention to detail, almost an elegant approach to weight saving. The carbon fiber super racing seats are manually adjustable and feature prominent bolstering, aimed to hold you in place in the most aggressive driving situations. Covered in Alcantara, they are remarkably comfortable. Well, we've gotten to know the car. I think it's time we head out for a ride.
Well, we're happy to bring you today a nearly brand new, all stock 2009 Ferrari 430 Scuderia. What an unbelievable car. And this car is a rolling technological tour de force. We're really out for a nice cruise on a nice day. It's about 60 degrees in Chicago. It's kind of like the perfect weather for this thing. So Scuderia really is the race equivalent, I guess, of the road-going Ferraris. And it doesn't really try to mask that. There's really not a whole lot of sound deadening. The floors are exposed metal. But you've got a 503 horsepower V8 behind your head with a set of active exhaust pipes that when you lean in enough, you'll hear it change. It's like, dude, it's in the VTEC, bro. No, man. All right, we're heading onto the highway here. We're taking a 270-degree ramp. Oh my Lord. Wow. I think the blood from the left side of my face is starting to drain back into my body. Holy cow. These are like gumball tires on these. No slip. I almost wish I could have pushed a little harder. I'm sure I could have, but still, again, it's not mine. But it's really smooth in everything it does. You know, you never really read a whole lot about Ferrari technology because they pretty much develop all their own stuff to be exclusive to their brand. So when you consider the fact that, you know, you've got this little Manatino thing here. You got 5 settings. You got a slippery road setting, sport, which is like the normal ride. We're in race right now, which stiffens the suspension. You can actually feel it. I'll go back into sport and softens up a little bit. Don't get me wrong, it's no Cadillac. And you've got 2 settings, one that just cuts your traction off, but keeps the stability control, and then one that's just for insane people that cuts it all off. This car is so potent, it's like driving a M80 firecracker. I mean, you just light the wick and it explodes. But it's actually pretty comfy. These seats are awesome. These are some of the best seats I've ever sat in. That's no joke. They're comfy. I could probably do a couple 100 miles in these seats. And I could probably do a couple 100 miles on a racetrack in this car, so just let me know if you need some help. Here's what this car sounds like at full tilt. We'll go down to second gear here. And carbon ceramic brakes. Wow. Dave, what do you think?
Amazing.
But what a gorgeous car. I mean, for a Scuderia too, I love this color combination. I think this is probably one of the most distinctive looking. It doesn't scream because honestly, why do you need to be so loud in a car of this nature? But everything is of the craziest high quality, all hand stitched. You see carbon fiber door panels there that are look as if they've been just so precisely machined. And think about it, we're going 80 miles an hour on a closed race course in 6th gear. And it's not very loud. I mean, there's really not a lot of sound deadening, but it's extremely solid. It's no squeaks or rattles. It's kind of a walk in the park at this speed. You can even go full auto. So now I don't even have to touch the paddle shifters. The car will shift for itself all day long. Not my flavor though. Definitely not my flavor. All right, 503 horsepower going to work. 4th, 3rd. Put in race, 2nd gear, and here we go. Wow. The Scuderia really is in brand new condition. I don't think I can point out anything that really can be considered a flaw in this car as it left the factory. And another way to verify that is you actually have what's almost a birth certificate to this car, which is the VIP, Vehicle Identification Passport. But this is something that accompanies the car from Ferrari, and it does illustrate the build process of the car. It gives a chassis number as well as some photographs actually documenting the car in the factory while it was being built. You can see the aluminum skeleton, the engine, and then the final product here towards the end. So pretty amazing, and also some amazing attention to detail when you're spending almost $300,000 on a car. Speaking of, I have a copy of the window sticker that does show some pretty tasteful options, obviously, but a total MSRP when new of $297,932. For more information on this Ferrari, you can check it out on our website. You'll find us at dmautosales.com. And when you're done there, check out our video channel. You'll find the rest of our stuff at supercarnetwork.com. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again.